Hello, hello, hello out there. How's everybody doing? This is everybody's favorite conservative out of New York, Christopher Wright, here to present you with another of my infamous walk and talk videos. Hope you enjoy. So what's today's topic going to be about? It's going to be about, I'm sure what you hear everybody talking about these last couple of days is the Barack Obama making a return to his infamous speech in Illinois, yada, yada, yada. Oh gosh. Yeah, so I want to speak on that, but before I go into the topic and go into detail regarding the topic, I want to give you a little background first, because I don't want people hearing me talk about Obama and they say, oh, he's just another Republican hater and he just, come out to hate on Obama. And it's like, no, not at all. First and foremost, when it comes to Barack Hussein Obama, I voted for the man twice. Unfortunately, I know. But anyways, I even campaigned for him in 2008. I was moved down to Georgia from Maryland at that time. I was about 25, 26 years old. And I even went door to door for the man. I went door to door for him, got him over 300 people listening to vote for him. And quite a few people came up to the voting booth on that day to make sure they voted. And so it was a very, I put a lot of effort for it. I watched all his rally speeches and, I heard his message. And, after 8 years of W. Bush, I was ready for change in this country. He brought that message of change, supposedly. So, of course, it resonated with me and a lot of people, obviously, by the voter turnout. And, we got him into office. And we even got him in 2010, majority House, majority Senate. And, and look, he didn't really, at the end of the day, get much done. But either way, I put the support in for the man, did what I was supposed to do. But after 4 years of his presidency, from 2008 to 2012, I recognized that a lot of the promises he was given, they weren't being fulfilled. So, that was a big issue for me, because the main reason why I voted for him, because, he was doing like these MLK, almost level type of speeches. And I just assumed he was going to bring that kind of change as well. So, that's when I learned that when it comes to Obama, he's a very good speaker, very articulate, all that good stuff. He even knows how to be charismatic and, bring a smile on people's faces from time to time. But that's all for show, and he doesn't have the action to go behind the words. So after 4 years of his presidency, I wasn't no dummy. I wasn't going to do, he's a black man, I got to support him regardless of how he carries himself. No, if I'm voting you for a certain reason and you don't come through with, what you said you're going to do, then you lost my vote. I'm going to move on. And so in 2012, I was already looking at different options. And that's when I first started looking at the Republican Party as an option. And, I mentioned this in previous videos about, where I stood on that matter. I was looking at Ron Paul, Herman Cain, a couple different gentlemen regarding, who I considered voting for. But, at the end of the day, the media kind of messed that all up. And they threw out infamous Mitt Romney, who unfortunately was not going to be enough of a candidate, in my opinion, to make me change my vote for the first time to another party. That was my first time voting Republican, and the Rhinos throwing out the same old with Mitt Romney, which is not the answer. They could have threw out probably 4 or 5 different names in that election that could have made me consider changing my mind, but he was definitely not the one. So anyways, after that all said and done, Obama comes out a couple days ago, Illinois, does his infamous speech. And, he talks about the economy and how, the job growth numbers were the same when he left office than they are now with the president. So he can't get claimed for the job numbers. And, when it comes to if you look at just specific job numbers, what Obama was doing was nitpicking. Excuse me. So if you look specifically at the job numbers, there's not a whole lot of change there on the monthly average. But there is a slight increase. And you gotta look at the bigger picture. You gotta look at the overall GDP growth. Not 1 year did Obama as president have a GDP growth over 3%. Not 1 year. That was unprecedented in any president in American history. The last recent quarter, under the Trump presidency, we've seen a GDP growth of over 4.2%, which is, it's a record GDP growth that we're having. So it's such a quick GDP growth, and that's under President Trump. So if you look at that number, and not just that number, I'm across the street here, but not just that number, but if you look at the yearly GDP growth as well, when it comes to the Trump presidency, we're going to look at a number around 4% by the end of the year. So 4.2% in the quarter, 4% at the end of the year. Way better than anything Obama's ever done. So you can't take claim for that either. And if you also look at something that's important as well with American economy, is the consumer confidence. The consumer confidence level is at a record high right now. And that goes a far way with us, because that's a large way America's economy has always been built, is not just the people out there working, paying taxes, but are they putting the money back into the economy? Are they spending? Are they buying product? And that is at a record high. And I can only imagine what it's going to be like after the holiday season is over. So that's also something you need to look at. Obama didn't want to bring up. So if you look at the overall number, Obama, again, he's just using selective wording, he's nitpicking, and that's all. So that's that. So, and another thing I want to look at when it came to the whole speech he did, where Obama was speaking, he tried to say a couple things. He tried to speak on what was going on with when it came to the status quo pushing back. He mentioned, he said that the status quo is pushing back, and he said that and they were pushing back in regards to just wanting to be kept in power and have their privilege, keep their privilege, use their privilege to keep their power, pretty much, is what the elites in the status quo are trying to do, and hinting that pretty much Trump is part of that status quo, part of those elites that are pushing back because they want to keep power, because they want to. He said racial, ethnic, and religious division is what they're looking to cause. And I was thinking about that when he said that. I was like, whoa, man, come on, man. You're really trying to put that kind of blame on Trump? And, he says, he's a symptom, not the cause of it. So he even tried to, he's very selective wording, Obama did. He used the word privilege, privilege, where that leads to in 2018. So we used the word privileged, he used the word, racial, ethnic, religious division. He used those words. And he's using that to pretty much get people, to, think Trump is, the whole white supremacist Nazi thing. He's trying to get Trump's label under, and it's all BS. And if you look at the history of it, if you look at these groups that are out here fighting and acting foolish, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, on the left side, and, I'm not talking about, neo-Nazis and everything on the radical, they're stupid people on the radical right as well. But if you look at those groups, most of those groups I'd never even heard of until Obama's presidency. So when I hear about, Antifa and Black Lives Matter, how can I hear about those groups and not think about Obama? Because, that's where those groups to me started from. He started a lot of these radical leftist groups. And since he started them, we're seeing a lot of issues that we're facing today. And, you gotta look at the big picture when it comes to that. And when you look at that picture, it's like a lot of these things Obama's trying to blame for Donald Trump for doing is what he did. He was the one who caused a lot of racial division in the country. I grew up born in '83, grew up in the '90s, and I didn't remember all this racial division growing up in America. And now, oh my gosh, you look at somebody wrong, say the wrong, hint, crack a joke, and a word pops out. Oh my gosh, you're a freaking white supremacist. It doesn't even matter if you're black sometimes. Look at Candace Owens, she's gets people looking at her like she's a white supremacist, trying to give her that label, just because she's speaking truth or she has a conservative message. And so this racial division he's talking about, and this religion and ethnic division, I remember under Obama, quit trying to say that's all down Trump. I remember you, Mr., I can't say radical Islam after suicide bombings and after shootings. You can't say the words, and causing division with race, but you come out and talk about the Crusades when it comes to Christianity in a heartbeat. You put that out there in a heartbeat, no questions asked. You're worse than the NFL when it comes to that. And so, you'll go there when it comes to, to me, I saw Obama, he was causing all kinds of division amongst races, and the whole Trayvon Martin could have been my son thing he did, and even you look at his pastor, Jeremiah Wright, before he became president, not God bless America, but gosh darn America. Come on. Michelle Obama saying this is the first time I'm proud to be an American when Barack, got nominated for the presidency. So it's just like, you guys have always been saying certain statements, causing divisions, being the reason why a lot of these groups have been created. These far radical leftist groups that has been created were under your presidency causing division. So, if you look at groups like Antifa, knocking out old people, beating up, pepper spraying little Latino girls and just crazy stuff. So, you can't act like that's all Trump's responsibility. That's, again, happened under your presidency, Obama. So trying to class blame. So, and if you look at also, you know, he said that, you know, that when it came to Trump, that Trump is not, you know, he doesn't fight for the little guy, and you know that he's, you know, he supports corruption. And I'm like, man, under Trump's presidency, you know, I've seen a middle-class tax cut that has affected me in a positive way, and a lot of people that I spoke with affected in a positive way. You know, the unemployment rate being where it's at, you know, people finding work that are in middle-class, upper middle-class jobs are opening up all around the country. So again, with this whole Trump not fighting for the little guy, he's just trying to use Trump's status as a multi-billionaire, you know, white male out of New York, as something that's just, hey, look, he's racist, and look, you know, he can't be out for you because look at him, he's a rich guy and he lives, you know, oh, you know, Trump Tower, da, da, da. So, but that's, again, that's a bunch of nonsense, it's a bunch of BS. Again, Obama causing division. So my overall message today is walk away is just, you know, when it comes to Obama being the shadow POTUS, sneaking around, still in the shadows, trying to cause conflict, you know, that is not a good thing. There's no president in the history of America has ever done that. He's not to be respected for it. You know, he's just proving why he's going to go down as one of the worst presidents in American history. And, you know, it's just a shame that he can't go away even after this far. He can't go, you know, just go off and just relax in the shadows like all presidents have done in the past pretty much. But he has to still be out there causing conflict and just be as un-American as you can be. So walk away from, you know, Obama's nonsense and all his lies when it comes to the current presidency, and support the commander-in-chief of the country. And that's all you got to worry about as a patriotic American, and nothing else. Not what the media, not what Barack Hussein Obama, divider-in-chief, is what he is, the divider-in-chief. It doesn't matter what he says. All right, so everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed today's Walk and Talk. And again, if you like the video and the content, please like and subscribe. That's the best you can do for me right now. And I'll make sure to bring more future content in the future. Sorry about the weather today, by the way. It's raining today, so I want to do my video regardless of the rain or not. So hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to bringing more content to you in the future. God bless everybody out there, and God bless America.